everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Today I'm building in the world of Selvadorada, which comes with the Jungle Adventure game pack. I almost called it an expansion pack. And we're building here today because lately I've realized that I've been overusing a lot of items from Jungle Adventure because they are such beautiful build items, but I don't actually build in this world that often. So I thought that we would do that here today, and I wasn't actually sure what I wanted to build at first, and I ended up building a treehouse. So I think that's kind of fun. You can go on this vacation to Selvadorada, maybe explore all of the things there are to explore, do some going through all of the different items and using the archaeology table, and you get to stay in a treehouse in the middle of a jungle with this gorgeous view. It sounds like a fun time to me. So that's what we ended up doing. I built this over on Twitch first, so you might recognize it from there if you were in the stream. And if you weren't and you'd like to join us in the future, I do stream over on twitch.tv/Gryphi 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So if you'd like to join us, I would love to have you. Anyway, the structure is starting to come together. I was very indecisive about the roof, so it takes a very long time for us to get to how the roof is going to be. But it was all inspired at first by this one big tree that I placed down. And then I realized, wait, we have that big stump that came with sand sequoia. That is supposed to be like a sequoia stump of the last one that was cut down. And I thought that that would be perfect to look like it's holding up this structure. So I put that down, and I actually ended up getting rid of the other tree in the end because I didn't like how much it put this building in the shade. If you build in The Sims a lot, you might understand, like, it's just very frustrating when things don't have good lighting. So I ended up getting rid of that tree in the end, which is fine. And I used a lot of these trellis items from the high school years pack to make it look like it's kind of holding up the structure as well. And I thought that that looked so cool. I also used this pergola piece, which I think is from my wedding stories. We have a few of them in the game, and I just thought that this one was pretty, and I kept switching the wood tones on this, so please ignore that. I was being very indecisive, but in the end, we do go for a darker wood in the end. I was just trying to have a little bit more contrast here, but as I was picking out different items, there were swatches that weren't matching, so I went back to a slightly darker wood tone in the end. But I think it worked out really nice. I love the colors that this build has, and the whole interior. I just had a blast with it. I thought it was a really cool build, and it's been a while since I built a treehouse. I feel like I've done a few in the past, but then we got tree houses that are like functional items for your kids with growing together, and I just haven't built one since. Not that I usually built them as like places for your Sims to hang out and like play as kids anyway. I did do that occasionally in the backyard of houses, but I liked doing things like this, like a vacation home that's a tree house. I feel like I've seen so many videos online of like Airbnbs that are tree house homes, and I just think they're really inspiring and fun. So it was cool to create this in The Sims. I hope you enjoy it. If you do like this build and you'd like to download it, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and that info will also be in the description down below. So right now we're trying to figure out the roof. It takes so long. I did get rid of what I had to begin with, and then I'm thinking, oh, maybe this little awning would be nice, and I love the awning. That does stay, but the roof does change, and this is where I finally figure it out, and I make it so it kind of connects in the middle like this. Oh, it looks so cool. I think this was exactly what I needed it to look like, where it kind of comes off into different directions like that, and it's kind of a low pitch using the textures that came with this pack, and it just looks better. It took forever for me to figure out how to do that. Also, you might notice in the footage, there's some really weird glitches going on with this build. When I was building this, they were the weirdest building glitches I've ever encountered, and they kept happening. The first thing was that I couldn't place more than one column at a time, because you know how you can place down an item more than one without having to go back into the catalog and grab it again if you hold down shift? Well, or is it control or shift? It's like muscle memory, so I can't think of what key it is right now, but it wouldn't let me do that. It kept saying like no. So I had to keep going back into the catalog, and then there was another section of the building that it wouldn't let me change the wallpaper on. It kept saying that like I can only change wallpaper on things on my lot, which made no sense. So then when I was like, okay, I'm going to reload the lot. I go back out into world view and I come back in here. The entire section of the house that had the wallpaper wouldn't let me change was just gone. It disappeared. And you can see it on the side of the house right now. It's like that yellowy wallpaper. Well, that section of the house completely just poof, it's gone. So those things were happening. And then one other thing that happens when we get inside, at some point you'll see, I went to go like draw out the rooms and separate them out. And I drew one room across and the floor just vanished. And I don't really know why these things were happening. None of these have happened to me before. And it was just really fascinating. And I was glad I was doing this live so everyone else could see what was happening, because I was like, what is going on? I feel like I'm being pranked right now because there was just so many build glitches. So let me know if you've ever experienced any of those because they were definitely new and unique to me. Or not like unique to me, like nobody's ever experienced them, but like to me, they were things that I had never seen. See, look at the floor. It's gone. I don't understand. Also, that little plant that's sticking through the flooring, that is because there's a little sprout coming out of the top of the trunk. So I just tried to hide it as best as I could in the build. So that is what that is. But we're trying to figure out the floor plan now. It comes together fairly easily. The front here is going to be the kitchen. There's a big bathroom and then a living room. And then upstairs is going to be the bedroom. I, at first, was trying to make it like bigger than this, but I feel like this is just perfect for a couple of Sims. Maybe they're just two friends adventuring together. Maybe it's a couple on their honeymoon. There's a lot of different things you could do here, but I was imagining this was just for two Sims. So that is kind of how I decorated it. Of course, using tons of jungle adventure because that was the whole inspiration behind this build, and the world we're in is Selvadorada, which comes with that game pack. But also that way it's a little bit more accessible if you only have a couple of packs. I did use wallpapers and plenty of items that are not from jungle adventure, but like the bulk of the items in here are. Like the whole kitchen set, the bedroom set, well, not the whole set, but like the bed, the kitchen set, the couch, like a lot of the items I used are jungle adventure. It's a very jungle adventure heavy home. So hopefully it's a little bit more accessible. I know I don't do limited packs that often, but I've also gotten a lot of feedback from y'all that you prefer when I don't, because it's fun to see the creativity, and I prefer not to most of the time too. But every once in a while, I think it's a lot of fun because I like to create things that more of y'all can download if you'd like to. But it's also, for me, nice to get a new appreciation for items I might not use as often because I have favorites from other packs. I feel like we all have favorite items in the game. So with that being said, if there are any limited pack builds you'd like to see sometime soon, do let me know because I think that could be fun. But anyway, decorating the corner over here, of course, I got my cutting boards. I got this little plant from Jungle Adventure, and this rug is also from Jungle Adventure. Pretty much everything in here is the windows, the wallpaper, the appliances, like everything. Well, this shelf isn't. This shelf is from Cool Kitchen, but I thought it would fill in the space quite nicely, so that's what I did. And I used my favorite curtains in the game right now that you've probably seen in almost every build that I've posted recently. I will be grabbing those here shortly from the High School Years pack. They're just so perfect, and so I ended up putting them on this window, and I think the other windows in the house too. I'm pretty sure I used them like everywhere, but they just seem to fit everywhere that I ever try. They just seem to be the perfect curtains, so I can't help myself. Anyway, into the living room now. The flooring is Jungle Adventure. The door, the table, the couch. It's just all Jungle Adventure. The stuff I put on the walls, this plant, all of it is from that pack if you were unaware, if you don't have it, but I was trying to use a lot of it, and of course it fits really nicely together, so that's what I did. I also got a TV over here. Not necessary, but I feel like it's just a nice item to have for your Sims to, you know, enjoy themselves, like to fill their fun need, so that is what I did. I also got a rug in here. I believe I got one from, yeah, this one. What pack is that from? Is that Dream Home Decorator? I think it is. And then these coffee tables are from High School Years. But this little basket is from Jungle Adventure. So I just like put this little fruit bowl in it, which I think looks so cute. A nice little thing to put on the coffee table. And then we got some more artwork from Jungle Adventure, this like framed artifact. I thought that was quite cute. And a little stool. And that should be pretty much it for this room. I'm just going to paint the walls and then we should be going into the bathroom afterwards. Oh, I added a plant first because I have to put that hanging plant in like every build I create because it's such a beautiful plant. I feel like there's a lot of items that I just can't help myself but use in every build, and that plant is definitely one of them at this point. Just using the shower and sink from Jungle Adventure with the matching wallpaper. I think it looks so pretty. A basic toilet, some towels, and I almost call it an apron, a bathrobe. I do the same thing when I go to place down the aprons in the kitchen. I want to call them bathrobes. I don't know why I get those two words confused when I'm doing builds, but I do. Anyway, this is the bedroom. It's got a lot of teal going on, and we're just adding some more windows up here. And it's a pretty simple room. It has access to two balconies, the one you get up here from, and then the other one that's just on the front of the house that I end up putting just a couple of chairs outside for your Sims to sit down and look out at nature. I imagine that could be a good spot for them to sit down and read a book or something. And then I just got a rug up here, a couple of bedside tables. I'm pretty sure the ones I grabbed are from Seasons, if I'm remembering correctly, because they're really small, so they fit next to the bed quite nicely. Yeah, I thought that these worked well here. And I believe I get wall sconces above instead of putting... Yeah, I got wall sconces. These ones, I want to say they're from Cats and Dogs. I like to do that sometimes instead of putting the lights on the bedside tables. It just frees up some more space to add some other clutter and stuff. And then I ended up using a dresser from the island living, from cottage living. So many of the packs have such similar names over in this corner. I'm not positive if it's blocking that door or not. I feel like it should be fine, but I was really trying to fit a dresser in here and I didn't really want to use the tiny living one because it wasn't the right swatches or the right style. So I decided to go for that one in the end. And then we're just getting some books on the bedside table as well as a clock. And that's it for the interior. Outside on this balcony that you access this space by, I put the archaeology table, I think a rug, and maybe a planter. I kept it fairly simple. I didn't think that this space needed a whole lot. I added a chair instead of a planter. Somewhere there's a planter, I'm pretty sure. But it's cute and simple out here. I just wanted to make sure I included an archaeology table since that's a huge gameplay aspect of visiting Selvadorada. So I wanted to include that. And then out here, I ended up putting these chairs that I should be grabbing here shortly from the Laundry Day stuff pack. I thought that they worked nicely. And this is the rug I grabbed, also from Laundry Day. And down here, getting another rug. And I believe I get a table and chair, so your Sims have a dining space since I didn't put a table and chairs inside the house. So if they want to dine, they can do it all out here. But that's it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching. Enjoy the screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.